All right, let's get the music started. Boy, I need some caffeine. I gotta start drinking this tea a lot faster. Previously on Kimba TV. Based off of like what we're kind of seeing, brother, it would not surprise me to do something like this. Like, bitch. Thomas Casper says you talked about sweeping and getting out of everyone's since 62K, but what about CME gap that's just below? It wouldn't be that great. So Thomas, this is what I would say to you. Stop the music. Is this going to be the last time that you're going to have a CME gap? No, right? So Thomas, perhaps your objective for the next couple of days would be to figure out the difference between a bullish gap fill and a bearish gap fill. Not all CME gaps getting filled. Like, if you told me, hey man, we have a CME gap at 9K, what do you think about that? You have to maybe understand how it fills, how to read the filling of it to see if it's bullish or not. But yeah, that level would be too low. I would, yeah, I mean, losing 62, you're probably going to see like 50, maybe even lower. All righty. But it really depends on the data, Thomas. It depends on how we drop to 62, what the reaction is like at 62. So based off of that, it would determine if we're going to see lower. All righty. Maybe Band-Aid you Gucci, aka Smirnoff, just gifted a sub. Shout outs to you, aka Smirnoff. Any questions, aka Smirnoff? XY says, am I not sub? Why am I seeing ads? Sometimes, so if you've been gifted subs all your life on Twitch, it might still show you ads. Yeah, Twitch is going to be trying out a whole bunch of different stuff this month. I might not actually gift any subs in August. I'm actually going to be talking with the Twitch people later today. ROJ says, I'm so sad Bybit is closed for France users. That's okay, exclamation blowfin. You dig. Vanquisher says, what is the GEX? Gamma exposure. Maybe Band-Aid says, you know what, Maine? Happy Thursday, maybe Band-Aid. Natalie, what's going on? Wetflix, what's going on? Andre says, best bullish reaction at 62K will be open interest going up with shorts getting trapped. No, Andre. Andre, I think what some of you Lion Cubs do is, depending on when you join the Lion Pride, you guys hyper focus on that. So if you joined me 2.5 years ago, you would be big on inflow. If you joined me 2 years ago, you would be big on bull divs at the golden pocket. If you joined me a year ago, you would be big on single prints. If you joined me 8 months ago, you're probably big on TPO and value area high, value area low for TPO. If you joined me 6 months ago, you might be big on bad highs and bad lows. But it's going to take you about 3 to 6 years to learn everything, Andre. So I wouldn't do this thing where you've only been trading and learning for a couple of months and you're hyper focused on the one hot thing for that couple of weeks and months. Alrighty. So for example, Andre, if I told you, hey, based off of the price action, I want you to draw the RSI manually. Could you do that? Because like every college freshman would be able to do that. If I asked you how do you calculate RSI, would you be able to break down for me mathematically and explain to me what RSI is and calculate it? What if I told you, hey, draw CVD manually? Could you do that? Some of you guys don't even know like fundamentals and you're jumping into things that you have no business jumping into. All right, so start with the basics. So when I get questions like, hey, is the best edge if the open interest does this? No. You know one thing out of maybe 500. So it's a little bit goofy. It's like almost asking me like, hey, I'm supposed to get married to the girl that smells good. If the girl if she smells good to me, should I marry her? It's like, what? No, you need way more data. That's what I'm saying, Oxide. When people are like, yo, so if the open interest is like this, is that good? It's like, what? You need way more than that. What are you talking about? Alrighty, so that's what I would say. Don't get caught up on the one thing and just completely disregard the 99% of all the other shit you're supposed to know and learn. Roger that, Andre? But yeah, depending on when you join the Lion Gang, you're gonna be hyper focused on the hot thing at that moment. But there's, you know, thousands of other things that you need to know. Alrighty? So make sure you keep learning. Just remember that, let's say if you were gonna be a trader on Wall Street, you're probably going to undergrad for 4 years. You have another 4 years at grad school. They're probably going to make you an analyst for the first 4 to 6 years. So, you know, like people that you're competing against is going to learn and study for close to a decade before they touch money. But you're putting in real money after 6 months. Yeah, so I don't know what you don't know. So just make sure that you continue to study and learn, okay, Andre? But don't get hyper focused on the one thing that's working at that time. Smirnoff says, brother, considering we haven't even taken the single print above, can we say we are ultra bearish now? So Smirnoff, stop the music. Smirnoff, if you're getting bearish right now, you're doing it wrong. So if you're somebody that was really bullish and you're surprised at this drop, it's already too late. For me, Smirnoff, I don't know if you've been able to follow along with me, but ever since I got back from Hawaii last week on Monday, bro, I've been trying to get into big ass shorts. I keep missing the entries that I want, but I've been wanting to get into big shorts since I got back from Hawaii. So none of this is surprising to me. I was probably as bearish as you are now last week on Monday. I'm starting to look for longs around 62. So if you're starting to get bearish now, I think it's a little late. Think about it. I said I want to get into big shorts starting last Monday. It just so happens that I missed the big shorts that I wanted to get. But I wanted to get into 600, 700 Bitcoin short last Monday. You know? So it depends on if you're surprised by this dump, or if you're just bummed out like me that you didn't get the entries that you wanted. But none of this is surprising to me. I'm just bummed out that I didn't get my 600 Bitcoin short from 70,200. So I wouldn't be looking at, oh, it didn't grab single print, it's hella bearish. I was already bearish last week. So it's a little, yeah, like I'm getting ready to start, looking for 62 longs and structure. So I think, I'm never going to be able to convince your subconscious. If you're not as bearish or if you're not as bullish as I am, there's really nothing that I can say or do to convince your subconscious. So I don't really know if some people are more bullish than I am. I don't know if some people are more bearish than I am. But I'm starting to like think about where I want to, get into longs, whether it's 62, maybe 62 gets lost. I don't know. But, if you're looking, like I'm not looking at this and being like, oh shit, I can't believe it's dumping. It's more like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't get the 70,200. Yeah, but if you're somebody that was like really bullish and you did not expect this and this is surprising you, I wouldn't try to trade this because you're probably going to end up like bottom shorting or something. So it's, you kind of have, I don't know what people's subconscious bias is. So it's kind of hard to like say what would make me more bearish or not. Yeah, but have you been following along? Like you see how I took the golden pocket retracement rejections? And somebody earlier in the morning was asking me like, hey, why did you take that short yesterday? But I think he just has to get caught up on the highlights. But every time that there's like bearish structure that starts to form, I am front running the loss of that level and I am taking and that's what we did yesterday, right? Instead of waiting for this, I'm taking that. So that's why like I'm chasing the shorts. Alrighty, Kekia says if we lose 62, we probably going to 50 or lower. Well, but that's exactly what they want you to think, Kekia. Make sure you get caught up. Don't be the guy that when it loses 62 on a wick, you short, and then we trap all the shorts. Remember what we talked about, Kekia. That's why you got to read the data. Zatu says no spot volume, OI rising, mass people shorting, fake drop. What I would say, Zatus, is this game is about pattern recognition. So if you can't remember what happened in the past, you're trading everything for the first time every time. So my question to you, Zatus, is are you just observing that now and concluding that now? Or have you seen similar things hundreds of times in the past so you are able to conclude with probability? Are you just guessing right off the cuff? Or are you referencing historical patterns, Zatus? Okay. So the last time there was no spot volume and open interest was rising, what did it do? That's your homework assignment. Don't just make shit up and think that you know. Right? Marin says, do you still think it will visit the box at 618? Marin, you got to watch the highlights. It's like an 16-minute answer. It's in the highlights. I could give you like a really shitty 20-second answer. You got to watch it again then, Marin. Or, you know what you want to do, Marin? Do you want to talk out the thought process and what would increase the probability of it going there and what would decrease the probability of it going there? What data or what structure break or what levels turning into what would make it have a higher probability or lower probability, Marin? So we can start there if you want to work through it that way. First things first is going to be the single print. So if it's a tap and go and it can't stay above the single print level, then it's still going to be bearish, right? And you would have to have at least two 30-minute candles above the TPO point of control. That bitch is all the way up at 64.4. So realistically, until you spend about an hour above 64.4, maybe 2 hours above 64.4, you haven't really won over momentum yet. So first things first will be single print. And you're talking about literally the 61,800, or when you say 61.8, are you talking about golden pocket? Some people are going to be looking for something like this. They're going to say single print, tap and go. Some people are going to want to try to long that. Some people are going to wait for here. But doink, 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 then I would say no. Grab it, break the levels that are supposed to be quote unquote support. Okay, lose the last sort of mathematical area where it would have to bounce with like volume support, and then you're gonna probably visit lows. So, all right. Now I got it. Awesome, Marin. So let's watch this, Marin. Let's watch this together. And Marin, what does it mean when it does this? Is that bullish or bearish? If they don't grab it all. What if it does this? Doink, doink, and it goes in really quick and then it leaves really quick. There's things that we have not seen yet that will help us tremendously too. You understand? So I can't predict the future, but you see it, trust it. The math is the math. Okay? So you know what the basic strategy says. You know what the book says. Now it's just about kind of like the individual, like some people are not going to be okay with a 30-minute candle close like me. Some of y'all are going to be on the 15-minute. That's okay. Hey, imagine if it doesn't even go into the single print. Oh, quit playing with me. So Marin, we got to see what it do. Marin, we got to see what it do. You know, so we don't predict what it's going to do, but we do our best to read what's happening in front of us correctly. We're not trying to predict what it's going to do. We're just in the business of trying to read what's in front of us correctly. Tony says, not feeling that single print, not even a bit, feels really bearish. Brother, what? It's been 8 minutes, bro. Into the 30-minute candle. Some of y'all need to go to 1 hour and nothing's less. Some of y'all need to go to 1 hour candle closes and nothing less. Bruno, let's go. Hey, what did we say? Hey, RG Bargy, you see what I'm saying? Hey, RG Bargy, what did we say that we wanted to do around here? On God, I feel like hella people are getting bearish. I don't even need to look at open interest, my boy. I'm almost like, yo, are you guys serious? Or are you trolling me? I said we want to get a lot of idiots bearish here. On God, I swear if it... Boy! Casper says, ain't no way we bounce from 65.1. It's lower probability, but that also means that if you do, and how do you confirm that it actually did? Turning the golden pocket, that should be the natural, like statistically normal resistance, like a retrace, turning that into support, or even better, just making a higher high. So until you actually do this or breach that, this is pretty normal. So still the verdict is out, Casper, you know, because if this is the level, well, you might not swing fail, but what would be the second most bearish structural edge? It would be a failed auction. The question would be, in your opinion, is that good or bad? Does that matter if you're looking for a failed auction? That's kind of like, you know, where you need to start thinking about things and figuring out your risk reward. Berbeezy, if we get the failed auction on 651, what edge would you want to see to long a 64350 bullish retest? Probably reaction. So like this. It comes back above 645 within 45 minutes. So maybe 2 30-minute candles I would tolerate below here. You watching the failed auction? How many of y'all are watching the failed auction right now? Huh? How many of y'all watching this pixel fuckage over here? I see you, maybe Band-Aid. I see you, G Jones. Let's go, gentlemen. I love it. I love it. Why don't we see it together live, Berbeezy? You want to see it live? First, it's got to break that low. Let's see if it breaks the 65 thou. You have any questions, Vishanti, though? You got levels. This holds or it doesn't. Okay? You could be looking for a bearish retest of the trend line or that if you feel like it's going to lose the golden pocket. Okay? But, you know, coming back to this level is not necessarily bearish. Alrighty, level to level. But you got to keep an eye on how did we get up here? How many people are long? How many people are short from where? I'm excited to see where we are tomorrow. Don't forget about what we talked about. Sweep candidate is right down there around 64.6. But I mean, you know, all these levels are kind of, you know, we talked about all this stuff. We don't really get bullish on the penetration. We get bullish on the you know what. Alrighty. So, and then obviously, anybody in a short from here, you're nasty if you are. A single teardrop streaks down the side of my face as I am filled with pride and joy. Not with those highs, double tears. Yeah, so look, there's nothing wrong with taking it because, hey, Collodine, I know that you were with me when I didn't. Do you remember when I was also thinking about shorting, but then I was like, fuck it, dude, I gotta at least take the break, right? So you and I have been there when it does save that for later, so it's totally reasonable to come down here, right? Yeah, but, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to clean the bad, you know, so. But I feel you, though. But Collodine, there's, you know, if it does do this, you know, even if you're in a long or even if you didn't want to take the short from there, I'm not mad at you if you end up taking the bearish retest. You know what it is. All right? All right. I'm out of here. The market maker. Holy fuck. It's insane. You know, I stream for 16 hours, 12 hours, 13, 14 hours. And it's not like I'm exact with when I dip. But this is... All right, y'all. Love you guys, man. Happy Thursday. You know what it is. Lion Cubs, any idea what the fuck I just said? The daily open is outside of your previous day value level, okay? So the value area high, you have already penetrated that. If previous day value area high, the 64916, okay, that blue line is resistance, and that's subjective definition. Some people are gonna consider an actual bearish retest being the confirmation that it's a resistance. Some people will consider X amount of time under the level as resistance. Whatever you consider as the value area high getting turned into resistance, you have a higher probability of rotating all the way down. Your value area low is 63,100. All right, you're gonna have PDPOC and PDEQ as support. So if you're somebody that really wanted a long and you missed it, hey, put your money where your mouth is. You've got levels that are coming up, right? Clearly, you would like edge, CVD, div, Fibonacci, confluence, and overlap. I think that PDEQ actually looks really interesting if it really is going to be bullish. So that's that 63.9, and that kind of lines up with, no, actually that's not that great. 64.350 is where? Okay, so maybe PDPOC, you wouldn't really want to tolerate any lower than that. Yeah, but anyways, so some people, maybe you weren't really thinking about getting into a scalp short, but maybe after this you kind of change your mind, but it's up to you. All right, have a great night, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sato sleeping is actually going to go up right now because I probably won't be coming back tonight. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Peace, everybody.